What is Skullgirls Mobile? Alright, so I wanted to make this video as an introduction to Skullgirls Mobile for players who either come from Skullgirls Second Encore or from any other gacha games. As a player who has played this game for over 3 years now, I have seen how this game evolved and improved throughout the years. Hopefully this video can be a nice primer to those of you who are interested or have heard of this game but never really gotten around it. Let's start with the basics with some history lesson. So Skullgirls Mobile is a spin-off from Skullgirls Second Encore, a fighting game with a long history and a huge committed fan base. Here's a little snippet of what you need to know about Second Encore. For the first time in over 10 years since release, the game was finally a main game in EVO 2022, which is an annual esports event that focuses exclusively on fighting games. Other notable games that was part of EVO 2022 includes Guilty Gear Strive, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Tekken 7, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and many more. So Skullgirls Second Encore being a main game was a very huge deal to the community and brought the game at the stage it deserves 10 years later. And along with it, Skullgirls Mobile also got sprinkled with some of that exposure, and I'm guessing that's where some of you come from. But I know that there are some of you watching who has never heard of Skullgirls before and got into this game through an ad or something. Guess what? I was like you too. I did not know anything about this franchise and I don't even play fighting games. However, I have come to really enjoy the mobile version of Skullgirls. So please do hear me out because the mobile version is more than just a fighting game. In fact, it is advertised as a 2D RPG fighting game, and I want to emphasize on this RPG aspect because this is a huge core gameplay for the game. Fighting games usually revolves around you choosing a character and fighting against a real opponent piloting a different character, and the stage is set and you both try to kill each other first. While the spirit of fighting games is preserved in Skullgirls Mobile, the main difference is that unlike traditional fighting games, the mobile version is primarily a PvE game. This means player versus the environment, or in other words, you're fighting against an AI instead. Now wait, this may sound bad because fighting against an AI does not sound as fun as another person, but don't worry, the RPG elements actually elevate the game a lot. I do want to mention that we do have a PvP mode in Versus, but this is not a primary feature, it does not provide rewards, and is mostly ignored by the majority of the player base. If you're looking for a PvP game, the main installment in Skullgirls Second Encore is for you, not this mobile version. So what exactly are these RPG elements? Well, for starters, we have actual elements with elemental bonuses and elemental synergies, we have skill points to upgrade your skill tree, we have a stat distribution with different ways to optimize your fighters, we have modifiers in every fight that makes the AI a bit more challenging, and we have buffs and debuffs, which is a core feature of this game. And finally, we have various abilities, and I mean a lot of abilities, that can synergize together to form your perfect offensive team. I wanted to give a little bit of explanation for the characters in this game because it's slightly different than other games. There are currently 16 characters with 2 more coming later. Each character has a unique set of moves, character abilities, marquee abilities, prestige abilities, and stat paradigm. I told you, there's a lot of abilities here. It might sound like a small roster, but there's another layer to note here because each character also have multiple variants, as seen from all these different cards with their own unique signature ability and then element and stat distribution. In total, there are almost 200 different cards that you can collect and build to form your team. Without going too deep into the nitty-gritty details of game mechanics, let's take a look at how gameplay actually works. Because this is a mobile version, your inputs come from taps and swipes. You also have these gold icons on the bottom here, which are your special moves and blockbusters. These together is how combat works. And what I love about this RPG fighting game is that you as a player have so much control on how the game is played out, just like a traditional fighting game. And thus, you can really express your skill in this game. There are tons of combo showcases out there which display this, and combo contests are also often held by the developers. Speaking of the developers, what made me stick to this game throughout the years is the developer communication. You can find them sometimes in the official Discord server, saying hi and whatnot, or you can also find them in the forums. You can check the forums for update patch notes and yearly roadmap to see what sort of updates the team is focused on for the future, and speaking of updates, Second Encore is still receiving new updates in the form of new character releases even today. At the time of making this video, Black Dahlia is still in the works and is slated to be released by the end of 2022, with Marie as the next confirmed playable character. And of course, Skullgirls Mobile is also receiving these updates and getting these new characters among many other updates such as a guild system and new Everest content and other quality of life changes. Now let's talk about the different game modes in this game. So I've mentioned briefly about Versus, which is the PvP mode that is fairly unpopular. Aside from that, there are daily events where you can grind for resources, a story mode to learn more about the game's characters and lore, prize fights, which is one of the main modes to grind for even more resources and characters, and finally Rift Battles, which is the designated competitive mode. In Rift Battles, you build a strong defensive base and you fight against other players' base to get points and climb up. Every week, you will earn a rank and get rewards based on those points you accumulated. This is the mode where top players thrive and showcase their skills. There is indeed a high level of skill for top rank play as the AI here is absolutely bonkers and the modifiers make it very challenging to clear perfectly. Furthermore, you can even get your name posted in the official social media if you get one of the top 3 ranks. However, it will be a long while before you can reach this place, and I know that not everyone is competitive and prefers to play casually. That is fine too. So a big chunk of what I want to talk about next is the gacha component of this game. This game is indeed a gacha game where you can buy in-game purchases to obtain characters and improve your roster. While the options to spend money is there, a lot of players have been able to reach high levels of play without spending a single dime. This is made possible because the rewards you can obtain for free are quite generous. Other gacha games often have characters in different star tiers, where higher star characters are more rare and powerful. In this game, there are 4 different tiers: Bronze, Silver, Gold, and Diamond, with Diamond often being the strongest and rarest. But of course, that is not always the case. Some Golds and Silvers are actually really good, and best yet, you can obtain them for free because they are rewards in prize fights, if you can grind for them. Furthermore, you can also evolve your lower tier characters to Diamond and get bonus stats. They won't be as strong as the Diamonds, but their abilities usually make up for the lack of pure raw stats. If there's anything you can get from this, is that some powerful characters are not locked behind RNG gacha paywall, which is amazing. One of the best things about this game is the pity system. Every time you get a new character, you also obtain shards of the next tier. So, for example, if you get a gold character, you get some shards for the next tier, which is diamond shards. And these shards, when filled up, will unlock a specific relic that guarantees that particular tier. So you can get diamond shards for diamond relics to guarantee a diamond variant for free as long as you keep playing. And just to end this segment, I know that some gacha games often have limited offers and banners for exclusive characters. You will find some similar offers here, but I think the developers have done an amazing job to make sure that it does not feel predatory. Time-limited offers usually appear when a new character is released or through the spotlight relics, which guarantees a particular character. However, you can be confident that in due time, they will all be released to the general pool so that you don't feel like you missed out on something. You'll have a chance to get them later. I think the way the gacha system is implemented in this game is very friendly and does not feel pay to win at all. I personally have only spent a total of $100 in this game, and that was spent 2 months ago as a celebration of a new character release. I didn't have to do that, and I know many top players who do not spend any money to get where they are. It all boils down to your time investment. So what can you expect from this game and the future? First of all, you can expect beautiful hand-drawn animation of interesting and unique characters, like Cerebella, who has this huge arms for a hat, Peacock, whose design was inspired by old cartoons, and Big Ban, a detective slash music guy that uses instruments for weapons. It's kinda weird and funky, I like it. Second, you can expect a very friendly and intuitive gameplay through simple taps and swipes for those of you who are not familiar with the fighting game genre. I have plenty of beginner guides to get you started on how to play each character if you're interested to learn more. Third, you can expect a truly free-to-play experience where your wallet does not determine how good you are in this game. I do have to mention that there is a lot of grinding in this game, and the grind is not something you can auto because of the nature of a fighting game. You really do have to play it manually, and I understand that not a lot of people have that time commitment nor find that fun. I personally do, but this could be subjective. And fifth, we can expect continuous updates from the developers. Big updates usually arrive about 6 to 8 weeks, and the roadmap have provided us some information on what the team is working on for the future. As said previously, we have Black Dahlia and Marie in the horizon, but for mobile specifically, we also know that they are working on brand new content in the form of guilds, quality of life changes, and possibly even a new game mode. I expect these to be released either this year or the next. Finally, I just want to say that for those of you who come from a gacha game background, do not be intimidated by the fighting game aspect of this game. You can find resources and guides out there from the wiki and also many YouTubers, myself included. If you head to the official Discord server, there is an active community of players who will be willing to help you. This game is a lot of fun and has a lot of depth, and I hope you can give it a chance. There's also plenty of Discord servers outside of the main official ones where you can find friends and play together. I also have a Discord server and you are all invited if you'd like to join my community. So that is all for me. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a nice day, and I sincerely hope to see you again in this channel.